guys, welcome back! Today I'm doing an anime review, and the anime I am choosing to review is Now and Then Here and There. You guys heard me talk about Now and Then Here and There very briefly in my top 10 anime video. Essentially the story of Now and Then Here and There is about this kid named Shuzo Matsutani, more commonly known as Shu. He's kind of this character who has absolutely the world at his fingertips. He feels as though life is just perfect and wonderful, and he's always happy and just so naive and so young and so immature. He's almost annoying in a way at first, but as you kind of get to know Shu, you kind of want to become Shu. The show opens up with him at kendo practice where he loses and he is told that he is the way he is. He just swings blindly and there is no way he's ever going to win that way. So after kendo practice, he decides to just kind of walk home, and it's the first time you really see him kind of down in the dumps, which is very unusual. You're only like 5 minutes, not even, into the show, and you're already thinking, this is kind of unusual for him. He decides to climb a smokestack, and when he gets to the top, he looks over to the highest smokestack, which he wasn't able to climb because the ladder was broken, and sees a young girl sitting on top. He questions why she was able to get up on top of that smokestack, but of course she can't hear him because she's pretty far away. So he attempts to get her attention by throwing things at her. When he finally does get her attention, they start kind of a silent conversation. He learns that her name is Lala Rue. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, everything just stops. Time itself just kind of ceases to be. However, for Shu, time does continue, as it does for Lala Rue. All of a sudden, this gigantic mecha just kind of appears out of nowhere and attacks. It grabs Lala Rue where she's being taken captive. Shu decides to jump into action and try and save her. Upon doing that, he is pulled into the future, this desolate earthly future where the sun is expanding, most of the water has been dried up on Earth, and life is becoming more and more difficult for mankind. He eventually realizes he's on this thing called Hollywood, a traveling Taliban of evil people led by an evil king. No, I take that back. They're not evil. They are just blindly following this evil king named Hamdo. This group, this army attacks villages, steals the children, and kills the adults, as well as just completely destroys the village that they were living in. The young girls are taken and kept captive until they're of breeding age, where they are then bred with to create more soldiers, or to create more breeders, depending on the gender that comes out. The boys are sent into a camp where they become children soldiers. So essentially, this entire cast is of young children, whether they're victims of rape or children soldiers. Shu is eventually discovered and sent into a holding cell where he meets a young girl named Sarah, who was mistaken for Lala Rue because she looks a lot like Lala Rue. She is from Shu's time period, but she's from America versus from Japan. When it was discovered that Sarah was not in fact Lala Rue, she became one of the young girls that is used to breed more soldiers for this army, for Hamdo's evil army. So needless to say, she's kind of messed up when Shu meets her. Shu's inevitable fate is to become a child soldier. He is put into Nabuka's camp and meets Nabuka along with Boo and Tabul. Boo is this innocent young child who obviously hasn't been doing this war thing for very long and befriends Shu very quickly. They're kind of at that same level of maturity. Shu wants to befriend Nabuka, and Nabuka has this desire to be Shu. You can feel it, you can see it in him. He wants to be like Shu. He wants to not really live the life he's living, but he does because he has faith in what is happening. He has faith that one day he will return to his home and to his family. Tabul, on the other hand, is a Hamdo mini-me and kind of makes Shu's life a living hell. If I really go any further into the storyline, there will then be spoilers. So I'm gonna leave it there and hope that synopsis kind of gave you a desire to see it. The animation of the show leaves much to be desired. It's not the greatest artwork, it's not the greatest of animations. It was their attempt to be very realistic, but it's an older show, so you have to take that into consideration. The music was even worse than the animation, I'll be completely honest. The music was boring and not at all what it should have been. I think that the score was the better of the two options versus, you know, the opening, ending, and the score of the show. I think the score was definitely better than the opening and endings, but it honestly didn't leave me with the same emotions that a lot of other animes do based on the music or movies or TV shows or whatever. The opening and ending are atrocious, really, in my opinion. I usually skipped them because I didn't like them in the slightest. And when I skip an opening and an ending, that means I really don't like them, because for some reason openings and endings of anything are very important to me. It's like warming up to exercise and then cooling down when you're done. It's kind of the way I look at openings and endings, and if I skip them, you know, I don't like them. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't watched the subtitled version of the show. It is on my to-do list. I will eventually switch the track over. But as far as the dub is concerned, I think the dub is very, very good. It is a Central Park Media dub, so it is a dub from a company that no longer exists. But that also means that it was done in New York, so a lot of your favorite voice actors from New York are in this show. Dan Green plays my favorite character, Nabuka. Crispin Freeman plays Tabul, and wonderfully, I might add. Ted Lewis is phenomenal as Shu. Lisa Ortiz does a very good job as Lala Rue. Granted, Lala Rue doesn't have very much dialogue. She's pretty silent as far as characters are concerned. Rachel Lillis plays two characters. She plays Boo and Sis. Does a very good job with both of them. I was left with many feels as a result of her acting with those characters. I would have to say, though, the standout actor for the show is Jack Taylor as Hondo. He had the amazing ability to leave me extremely uncomfortable, and uncomfortable in many awful ways. And I don't think that I ever truly fully recovered from that. Ever. His portrayal as Hondo has left me amazed at his acting ability, and I just wish that he did more that I could see and hear, and it was just so very, very good. The characterization of the show is phenomenal. You enter this show with many different types of characters and different versions of character development. There is a lot of character development for some, no character development for others, but that's only to be expected with a 13-episode anime that is already dense as far as storyline is concerned. I think the character with the most character development throughout the course of the series was Nabuka. He kind of went through a very large amount of self-discovery throughout the course of the series, which was a phenomenal thing to watch. Hamdo had absolutely no character development, but that was okay because he's supposed to be crazy and he's supposed to be a sociopath. So the fact that he didn't have any character development, meaning that you never really wanted to cheer for him, was okay. A lot of people give this series a lot of crap because Shu has absolutely no character development. And while I partially agree with that, I will also slightly disagree. Throughout the course of the show, he is witness to a lot of horrible things, and it gives him more passion to better the world. So while he still keeps his innocence and his desire to continue to be happy, he at least has more passion to do it. So there is some character development, but not the kind of character development that a lot of people would expect there to be for a character like Shu, who starts out the series as this extremely happy-go-lucky, seeing the world through rose-colored glasses kind of character, and still being able to see that even halfway through the series where he has already gone through hell. The way I've looked at this series, which includes the social commentary aspect of the video, is that Shu is really Pandora's box, or the hope that is in Pandora's box. The old Greek mythology of Pandora's box being that Pandora was not supposed to open the box. Inside the box was all these emotions, all of these things, and she opens it and closes it, and what is left in the box was hope. That's what this series kind of gives you, is hope. No matter how awful. It's a line that Shu even says throughout the course of the series a few times. As long as you have your life, good things are bound to happen. That is Shu's philosophy, and that is what we are supposed to take from this show, is the fact that no matter how bad the show got, Shu was able to keep that optimism. He was able to keep that sense of himself, that sense of knowing that one day it's all gonna be better. And that was the reason that this show was amazing. Below I've left links to where you can purchase the DVDs as well as where you can watch them legally online. So there is no reason for you not to see it. You can watch it free online, check it out, see what it's all about, and when you've seen it you can buy it because it's nice and cheap. This release, which I think is now technically out of print because it is an ADV release or a re-release, comes in 3 discs. These are the episodes, the special features. It's really worth the watch. You guys should check it out. I really enjoy it. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.